Hello and welcome back. In this session, we will look into how to apply multiple filters. And let's say we want employees who have a department as IT and currency as GBP. So in Excel, we will go to the employee department column and add a filter on IT. Then we can go to the currency column and add a filter for GBP and we get two employees. If we add a filter on currency first and then on the employer department, then also we will get the same two rows. And remember, here we're talking about two filters working simultaneously, one on top of the other. In other words, two filters are combined. This filtering of data using two different conditions is done in Snowflake using AND keyword. So in Snowflake, we can write a SQL like select star from employee dim where employee department code equals to IT and currency code equal to GBP. And here also we get exactly two rows. Not equal to. Let's say we want all the data from our employee table except for one row where the employee ID is 1. In Excel, we can simply deselect 1 from the drop-down. In SQL, we can use this less than and greater than sign for the same. So, our SQL will look like this. Select star from employee dim, where employee ID is not equal to 1. And if I run the SQL, we get 499 rows as expected. We can also use exclamation mark equal to instead of less than and greater than sign. This can be used as well for not equal to statement, but this is not native SQL. Or let's assume that now we want to select the rows from our table where employee department code is equal to IT or currency code is equal to GBP. So we want rows from our table where either of the condition is true. In this case, we have to combine two filters with OR operator. So we want data from our table even when the employee department code is not IT, but the currency code is GBP and vice versa. I will say that let's have a habit of using open and close parentheses before and after our two filter conditions to avoid any issues due to the use of the OR operator. So we can write SQL as select star from employee dim where open parenthesis employee department code equal to IT or currency code equal to GBP close parenthesis. In. Okay, let's say our company has decided to give a 10% bonus to all the employees working under departments HR and Fin. So here we can add a filter on employee department code and select HR and Fin from the drop down. In SQL also, we can achieve this task in multiple ways. The first and easy one is that we can use in operator. So, when we want to choose multiple options, we mostly use in operator. In this case, we want data from employee dim, but the employer department code is in HR and Fin. Also remember that we have to include our choices in open and close parentheses. So our sequel will be select star from employee dim where employee department code in open parenthesis HR, comma fin close parenthesis. And we get 146 rows, the same as we got in Excel. We can filter the data from employee department HR and fin in another way as well in Excel. We can click on these text filters and click on contains. Here we can write HR and use this or and again choose contains and write fin here. We can write SQL with Snowflake exactly in the same way. Here we're saying we want to select rows from employee dim where the employee department code is HR or fin. So our SQL will look like this. Select star from employee dim where open parenthesis employee department code equal to HR or employee department code equal to fin close parenthesis. And again we get exactly 146 rows. Not in. Let's assume our company has also decided that rest all employees who are not working under either the HR or fin department will get a bonus of 9%. So we can go to the employee department column and deselect HR and fin from the list. It also means that we're selecting all the rows where the employee department is not in HR and fin. In Snowflake, we have to write similar SQL to get this data. In this case, we have to use the not in operator. So our SQL will look like this. Select star from employee dim where employee department code not in open parenthesis HR, comma fin close parenthesis. And we get 354 rows similar to what we got in Excel. Between. Let's assume that employees who have employee IDs from 201 to 300 would complete 25 years in our company. So it is decided to provide some awards to these employees. And we want to find out who these employees will be. So in Excel, we can add a filter on the employee ID. We can click on the number filters and use this between. In the first box, we can specify 201 and in the second box, we can specify 300. And if I click OK, I can see 100 records are selected. In the database also, we can write a similar SQL. We have to use the between operator. And between two values, 201 and 300 in this case, we have to use AND keyword. So our SQL will be select star from employee dim where employee ID between 201 and 300. And here also, we get exactly 100 rows as expected. We can also write down this filter as employee ID greater than or equal to 201 and employee ID less than or equal to 300. And if I run this SQL now, we get the same results. If you look closely at Excel, it also shows the same formula. Not between. Let's say now we want to get all the employees who will not get any award. So we have to exclude these employees who have employee IDs between 201 and 300. In Excel, we can write a custom filter on employee IDs as employee ID is less than 201 or is greater than 300. As you can see, only 400 rows are selected out of 500. And if we scroll down, we can see that we do not use employee IDs from 201 to 300. In SQL, it is comparatively simple. We can use the not between operator, and our SQL will be select star from employee dim, where employee ID is not between 201 and 300. If we want, we can also write down similar SQL for Excel operation, and it will also produce the same results. Remember, every operator can be used in combination with not, like in, not in, between, not between, like, not like, etc. We can combine multiple filters in our SQL to refine our result set. Let's say we first filter the data for employees not between 201 and 300. Later, we can add a filter to restrict employees who have currency codes such as AUD. Later, if we want, we can add an additional filter to find out who is working under HR out of the above result set. Let's take one example to illustrate why we need to enclose all filters in open and close parentheses. Let's assume we want only those employees who have currency codes as either GBP or AED. So we can write down SQL as select star from employee dim where the currency code is equal to AED or currency code is equal to GBP. And if we run the SQL, we get 7 rows. Let's say we now want only those employees who have employee IDs between 201 and 300. So basically, these 2 rows. So we can add a filter as and employee ID between 201 and 300. And now, if we run the whole SQL, we get 4 rows and we can see that we still have employee IDs which are not between 201 and 300. So this is the issue when we do not use open and close parentheses around OR clause. So let's add that and try again. And now we get exactly 2 rows as we wished earlier. I want to clarify here that it is not because SQL works incorrectly. If we do not use open and close parentheses, it is based upon a priority of how AND clause and OR clause work. But for simplicity, let's always have a habit of using open and close parentheses, enclosing or filters. Hope you have understood filtering in SQL by now, different operators, and how they can be used in combination. So thanks for now, and see you in the next session.